Oh, look at that. That is moist. That is fantastic. Just look at that. That is fantastic. That is nut roast made. That is superb. Look at that. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're making nut roast. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple. We blend everything up, chuck it in a tureen, cook it in the oven, done. Now this can be made, served hot. It can be kept in the fridge for a few days, or you can cook it and freeze it. Reheat for Christmas or any time like that. Let's show you how to do it, come on. Okay, so I've got a little toy out of the cupboard and we'll use a chopper. It's a straightforward chopper. It's got a lot of blades like that. Okay, so our first job then, we're going to chop some nuts. Now I've got walnuts, I've got pistachio nuts, I've got almonds. In they go. Now you can chop all this by hand if you so wish. That's up to you. We're going to start with the nuts because they're the dry stuff. And there we have chopped nuts. Mushrooms. Done. So you can see where we're coming from with this. It's very simple to mash everything up. Mushrooms, chopped. Now I've got some cooked chestnuts here. We're going to do exactly the same. Now the finer you go with everything, you ain't going to have any texture in your nut loaf. Back in there. Now I'm going to do the same with the leek and the onion. I'm just going to slice down that leek. Now I want everything to be chopped up small. Now you can do all this by hand if you so wish. I don't wish. I want something very quick, very easy. A little bit of red onion. And I've got a carrot, exactly the same with a carrot, just going in there. We're just going to run a knife over it like that. It just makes it that little bit easier, you know. Now we're making this a quick recipe. This is very easy to do. This is one of those where you don't have time and you can knock out a fantastic nut roast. This is fresh rosemary, straight out of the garden. If you haven't got fresh rosemary, don't worry about it. You know, you can just use dried. Now I'm putting this in now because when we mash all this up, it'll already be in there for when we want to fry it off. You don't have to do it this way. You can put the herbs in when you start to fry off your veg, saute your veg in butter, but I'd rather have this in here and we chuck the whole lot in the pan in one go. You know, that's a quick way of doing it in any restaurant. Now I don't have fresh thyme, so I'm going in there with about a teaspoon of dried thyme, and we want the zest of a lemon, and I'm going to put that in there as well. Now, I've shown you before on the channel, and all these people that zest upside down, craziness. You hold your lemon and you zest over the top, and you can see exactly what you're zesting. It's as easy as that. And there's our zest. In it goes. On with our lid, and we're going to give this a bit of a blitzing. There we have it, job done. So that is our veg mix in there, which we are going to cook off, saute in a pan. We've got some bread, normal sliced bread. Now you can take all the crusts off if you so wish, that's up to you. I'm not going to bother. But we want some little cubes of bread. Now I'm using wholemeal, as you can see, for no other particular reason than I've got wholemeal bread. It's not because I'm trying to make it any healthier. This is going to be like a binding agent and stick everything together inside. So that's our bread in a bowl. Okay, before we get on with frying, let me show you this. We're using a loaf tin. Now it might be a bit big for this job, but that doesn't matter. We're not even working it out. Cut some parchment paper to go around your tin, and then you take your scissors and you nick like that on the corners, and then you cut longer. So you cut into the parchment paper. Now this is a really quick and simple way of lining that tin out. And then you just put that on there, and it naturally folds inside without any hassle whatsoever. So it's easy peasy. Let's not do anything hard on this channel. And then all you need to do is just fold that down, because we don't want all that up there like that. So that is our lined tin, lined like that without all the messing around and everything. All we need to do now is crack on and get cooking. Now this cook couldn't be any easier. We want to go in there with some butter. Want to get a flame on. And then we're going in there with our veg. And we're going to start to saute it down. In there with some black pepper, a little bit of salt. Give that a little cooking in there. Now that salt is going to draw out that moisture of all that veg in there. Now of course you can put garlic in here, you can change the herbs, you can do anything like that. Now like I say, this is a fantastic recipe. Stick it in the freezer after it's done, bring it out, rewarm it, on the table. You've done the messing around, the prepping a long time before you want to use it. Okay, we're going in there with our mushrooms. Stir in. So what you're looking to do now is take out the fluid from those mushrooms and this veg. Now these mushrooms are definitely going to give out a little bit of water in here with this veg. So we want to be going in there with our chestnuts, our mixed nuts. Just give that little working in there. We're going in there with our cooked lentils. Going in there with our breadcrumbs. And we're going in there with our veg stock. And we're going to just give that a mix through. In there with our cranberries. We're going in there with about half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, there is our mixture in there. Now we need to check for seasonings. Wow, that's hot. Is it salty enough? Pepper? Nutmeg? I think that is just about fine. So that's it. Flame off. Flame off, has to cool down. When it cools down, we'll stir the eggs in. You cannot put the eggs in there now. The eggs will cook. Let it cool. Okay, next stage of this then, once this is cooled down enough, we're going in there with our egg. So we'll get our egg mix in there and just give that a stir through. Now hopefully we've cooled down enough that it won't cook. So here we are then. We are going to make up our loaf. So we need to be going in our tureen or our bread tin as we use it here with our mix. So bob some of that in there like that, and then we want to be squashing that down into the corners. We do not want any air pockets in this one. Try and squash it down. And then in with the rest of the mix. Down we go, and try and level it out as we go this time. So that's it, there's our nut loaf made up. We're going straight in the oven. Oven at home, we're going to do 170. Oven at home, we'll do 170 degrees, about 40 minutes. I'm using this air fryer oven. I'm going to do 170 degrees for about 30 minutes. Hoping to get a nice brown colouring on there. And it should firm up quite nicely inside because the egg is going to stick it all together. So make sure you preheat your oven. I've already preheated mine. And stick it in the oven. In it goes. We want 170 degrees for about 30 minutes. So we've got 30, we're going to bring that down to 170 and we're on. Cook it, leave it, come back 30 minutes, we should have a nice nut loaf. Okay, end hot. Let's have that out of there. Oh, that looks fabulous. Oh, look at that. That looks sensational. A nut roast should feel a little bit springy, little bit. The same as a meatloaf if you cook meatloaf. So I think that is about perfect. All we've got to do now is let it cool down. We don't want to turn it out like that. That'll be far too hot. Now if you were going to serve that, you would serve it warm. So you would let it cool down, turn it out, slice a couple of slices, plate it up. So we're just going to let that cool down and then we're going to slice into it. Okay, it's only been about 5 minutes, but that's good enough. We're going to turn this out and we're going to try and cut a slice without it crumbling up, because obviously it's still red hot and it's not had time to cool down. How are we going to do this? We're going to put that there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a board over the top and we're going to turn it over. Okay, for you lot. Wow, that is hot actually. Let's have that off there. That is our nut roast. Look at that. So I think we've got to give it a cutting, don't you? Now I'm not sure if that's set up properly, you know, it feels quite springy. It feels like a meatloaf. It feels okay. Now don't forget the middle of that's already been cooked apart from that egg mixture. You know, but egg cooks okay in there. So let's just come in here. Oh, it's steaming this. And let's just take some of that down there. Oh, look at that. That is moist. That is fantastic. So we'll just come in there. Look at that. All we've got to do now is serve it up. Just look at that. That is fantastic. That is nut roast made. That is superb. Look at that. That'll grace any table at Christmas or any other time. That is superb. Oh, come on. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's got a nice crunchy bottom. Oh, that's nice and soft in there. Oh, come on. Oh, that is amazing. That is really delicious. A really pleasant flavour through there actually. That veg, the nuts, the mushrooms, the chestnuts, that little bit of nutmeg. Oh, that is fantastic. That is really tasty without being overpowering. That is a fantastic meal in itself. So come Christmas or any time you want a nut roast, this recipe is a cracker. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video.